Shout out to Christian Ian de la Paz for this great question about the Primavera P6 calculations tab. I know these settings can be confusing because one of the most common questions is not just what these settings do, but which settings we should actually use. Calculations tab is broken down into two sections, and on this video, we'll go through the activity settings and I'll share the exact settings that I personally prefer and why I believe they are the most logical choices. So let's begin and go ahead to Calculations tab. To go to Calculations tab, navigate to your project window. This is the window where your projects are listed. So I'm gonna select my example project here. Then on the project details below, you can see the Calculations tab. First, we're gonna talk about the settings in the Activities category. Let's start with the first setting, which is labeled as default price per unit for activities without resource or role price per unit. As the name suggests, it allows you to set the default price per unit for activity that has no resources assigned to it. So to demonstrate this, let's go ahead and open this project. I have here these activities. Let's try this activity for example. If we go to Resources tab, you'll see that this activity was not resource loaded or cost loaded. You see, even though you don't assign resources to the activity, you can set labor and non-labor units for it on the Status tab. And if you can set units to it, you can also set cost without assigning any resources. But Primavera needs to know where it will multiply the units to come up with a cost. That's where this setting comes into play. Since it has no assigned resources, it will use the default price per unit to come up with a cost. So let's try on this activity. In the columns, I have here budgeted labor cost. As you can see, even if I set labor units, there's no cost being populated. It is because the default price per unit is set to 0 and Primavera makes those calculations in the background. But if I change this, for example, into 2 per hour, you'll notice in the activity that it starts showing budgeted labor cost. 500 gives us 1,000 cost considering 2 per hour price per unit. If we adjust the budgeted, for example, let's say to 800, it will gives us 1,600 budgeted cost because Primavera multiplies that 800 to the price per unit that we entered on the settings. If we change the setting, for example, into 3 or 5, let's say 5, the budgeted cost will adjust based on that value and our budgeted units here. So 800 times 5, that would be equal to 4,000 cost. Now the question is, do you use this setting or not? Well, if you plan to make a cost-loaded schedule without using resources, you can opt in to use this setting. This can be useful if you need to make an S-curve but still know sufficient information on the estimates of the project. Please note though that you're limited to one price per unit. If you need more flexibility and wish to assign a different price per unit for each activity, you need to assign resources to each activities. Now let's go ahead on the next setting, which is the activity percent complete based on activity steps. These settings allows you to use activity steps to calculate the percent complete of the activity. To use it, the following conditions must be met for the activity. First, the activity's percent complete type is set to physical. And second, the activity has activity steps assigned to it. Now, to give you an idea what activity steps are like checklists for the activity. It breaks down the activity into smaller components or smaller tasks without the need to make a separate activity in the schedule. And you have the option to include weight on these steps for more accurate measure of the progress. So I'll show you later about including weight on these activities. Now let's click this setting. Let's activate this setting. And then let's go ahead and go back to activities. We will use the second activities for the demonstration. And as I said a while ago, for us to use the settings, we need to change the percent complete type of this activity to physical. So make sure you're under the general tab. And here you can see the percent complete type of the activity. Let's select physical. Now, the second condition is that the activity or this activity should have activity steps assigned to it. Now, let's go ahead and assign steps on this activity. Let's go ahead in the Steps tab, and here we can add the steps. Let's say your activity is to install air conditioning units. So let me just rename this activity to install air conditioning unit. So let's say that's our activity. So the activity steps can be deliver unit to the site, install mounting brackets, connect electrical wiring, and test and commission. So let's add those steps on this activity. So for us to add steps, we can click this add button here, and we can rename this to deliver unit to site. So that's our first step for this activity. Now, second step, let's add the second step, which is install mounting brackets. Now for the third activity, let's type connect electrical wiring. And for the last step, that would be test and commission. Now the main activity, which is install air conditioning unit, remains one activity in the schedule. Now for more accurate tracking, you can put weight on each step. As you can see, the current assigned weight on these steps are all equal to 1. It means that each of these steps weighed equal to each other. But we can change this step weight. For example, deliver unit to site, I can assign 15 weight on it. And for install mounting brackets, we can assign 30% or 30 points. And then for connect electrical wiring, we can assign 40 points. And last but not the least, for testing and commissioning, we can assign 50. As you can see, I intentionally assign values here so that their total would be 100 because it's easier for me to put weight based on percentage. And as you can see, the step weight percent is also equal to that weight because all of these values sum up to 100. Now, you can check here what step is done with this checkbox here. For example, I'm done with the delivery of units to site. I can check this box here. And if we go to status tab, we can see that the activity automatically started and it already has 15% physical percent complete. Now, if we go back to activity steps, and let's say we check the installation or install mounting brackets, let's say that's already completed, we can check this step. And again, let's go back to status. It will reflect that percentage, the total percentage for the 2 steps that's already done. Now, because you're using activity steps, you can't make any manual input on this field. So, if I try to enter the different values, nothing happens. Now, if you delete all these steps, for example, we deleted these steps because there are no assigned steps on these activities. If we go back to status, we can now make a manual input on this field. For example, 80%, for example, 20%. So using activity steps can help you measure the physical percentage for that activity. Now, this setting is a matter of preference. Even if you're not gonna use activity steps, you can safely turn on this setting since it will only works when there are activity steps assigned to this activity. Now, for the third setting under activities, we have here link budget and at completion for not started activities. And underneath these settings, we have 2 subsettings that I'm gonna explain in a bit. Before we mess around this setting, I want to review a simple concept of duration with you in Primavera P6. So let's go back to activities, and I'm gonna use this third activity as an example. If you'll notice on my screen, I have a bunch of durations columns here. We have original, actual, remaining, and at completion duration. The original duration, as we all know, is the planned duration. And the actual duration only comes into play when I start to progress this activity. Actual duration also depends on the start of the activity and the data date, so we can't really make any manual input on it. Let's take a look on the original, remaining, and at completion duration. As you can see, they are all equal to 14 days. And if I change the plan duration to 30 days, everything changes to 30. The same applies if I change the remaining duration or the at completion duration. When I change the remaining duration to 25, everything changes. And if I change the at completion duration back to 14 days, all will be at 14 days. Now, this activity hasn't started yet. That means the remaining work is equal to what I plan to do, which is my budgeted or my original duration. And at the end, at completion, this is also gonna be equal to my plan. So it makes sense that all of these durations, all of these three durations are equal to each other. Now, when we update the activity, the behavior changes a bit. If I put actual duration on this activity, the actual duration plus the remaining duration will be equal to at completion duration. And the original or planned duration comes out of the picture. Now, it's very important to understand that concept because when I start playing with the setting, things change. As you can see here, the settings is checked by default and it should be checked for all of your projects. But what happened if I uncheck it? When I uncheck this setting, what happened is that that equation where all three of those duration are equal to each other is now unlinked. So I'll show you what happens. Let's go back to activities. Now, if I change the remaining duration to, let's say, 21 days, that completion changes to 21 days. But these two durations are not equal to our planned durations anymore. Here's my idea why they implement this feature. Let's say this activity was originally planned for 14 days, and then there were changes to the plan or scope change, and you want to revise the planned duration or the original duration. What you can do instead is revise the remaining duration and keep the original duration. So this setting is a way to keep those original duration fixed and update any remaining duration instead if an activity is changed. Now remember, this is a change before I've even started the activity. Now here's what I would suggest you to do. I want you to keep these settings turned on because that relationship between planned, remaining, and at completion makes sense for not started activities. If there are changes to the activity and you want to make adjustment on it, but also want to keep the original estimate, you can just use the baselines for it. Baseline is a more practical way of preserving your original estimate. Now, there are two subsettings below, and these two settings only matter if this setting is unchecked. Since I encourage you to have this setting checked all the time, we don't need to worry about these subsettings anymore. But if in case you're curious, here's what they do. If I go back to activities, you see that I have 14 days original duration and 21 remaining duration. If I turn the link back on, these durations will be equal again. Now, Primavera has to know what value to preserve for both original and remaining. Is it 14 days or the 21 days? The subsetting gives us that option. Right now, reset remaining duration and units to original is selected. What it does is if I turn the link back on, it resets the remaining duration and then set it to whatever the value of the original duration is. That's why you also get this warning if you made changes on the remaining duration. Now, if we continue, notice the remaining duration from 21 days. Now it's at 14 days. It preserved the value of original duration and set the remaining duration equal to that value. The other setting is if you want to preserve the remaining duration instead. Since the remaining duration most likely has the updated estimate, it gives you an option to preserve remaining duration instead and use that as your new original or new plan duration. And there you have it. Those are the three settings under the activities section and what each one does. I've summarized here the exact settings that I personally find most logical when managing activities in Primavera P6. I hope this helped clarify some of the confusion around these settings. In the next part, we'll cover the resource assignment settings, where Primavera begins to control units, cost, and remaining work. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss the next episode. Again, this is your colleague Daryl, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.